Hello class, I am Professor Rousseau and today I will discuss time value of money. Throughout this class, I want you to remember and focus on two things. Cost of wedding and purchasing power. These two concepts will be impacted by something we all know that is called inflation. Without further ado, let's begin. Class, there are several methods for teaching time value of money, TMV. Many instructors will teach you a formula to help you track the future value or the actual value of your money. I will not do that. I will not teach you any formula, but I will show you one or two examples that you will be able to see how life is happening around you and what you should be doing to make sure you plan for retirement like a pro. I am not going to define time value of money or TMV. Let's take a quick example before we talk about cost of wedding and purchasing power. Let's say today you have $100. You decide to go grocery shopping. You go to Walmart. You want to buy milk. Each gallon of milk is $10. So you are able to purchase 10 gallons of milk for at $10 each, and you spend your $100. Next year, around the same time, you still have $100. I'm talking now 2024. You still have 100. Now you will go to Walmart to purchase the same milk at the same quantity. When you get there, you see the same milk that last year you paid $10 for, now is $12. Now you will not be able to purchase the same amount of milk because the price changed. It changed because of inflation. In a nutshell, what TMV is to tell you that your money fluctuates or the value of your money change all the time, or better yet, what you can do with an amount of money today, you will not be able to do the same thing next year because of inflation. It's telling you that for you to keep up the same lifestyle that you have today or this year, to keep it the same next year, you will have to come up with more money because of inflation. Because what you could do last year with $100, you will be able to do it this year with that same amount. That means you have to save more or to bring more money to be able to purchase the same quantity for the same amount of money that you have. Now, let's go further down. Let's dig a little deeper so we can understand the real concept and how it will involve you as an investor, also as you who are planning to retire in the next 10, 20, 25 years. At the beginning of the class, I told you to remember two key concepts: cost of wedding and purchasing power. Cost of wedding has to do with investment. Purchasing power has to do with you saving money every day, you spending money every day, and you planning to get rich when you retire so you can live large. Let's talk about purchasing power. Let's say that you are working $4,000 per month. You can do some budget. And out of that, you use $1,500 for your groceries. groceries and to fill up your tank every day to go to work. And you were able to put $500 to the side because you have allowances and other bills like your cable bill or those that you're paying. So you were able to save $500 every month out of your paycheck. And what you need, you will see, right? That was like 2 months ago. 2 months ago, you are still getting paid 4,000. You go to the grocery stores to buy the same thing that you are buying. You start by the same gas station to fill up your tank. And when you see now, your expense goes up to 1,600. So as you can see right now, your ability, your power to purchase, to do grocery declines because your money fluctuates every day because of inflation. Because of that, because your earning power diminishes or declines, now you might be able to save 500 because you still have to give money to your kids. You still have to be able to get a bill when you go out. You still have to do everything you were doing and you don't want to do less. Now you are able to save less money. And every week, every 2 weeks, every time you get paid, you still get paid the same amount of money. Your bills, your grocery shopping is getting bigger every day, and you buying the same thing because you have the same needs to purchase. And before you were saving 500, now you can only save 400. Purchasing power is one of the key concepts that will help you understand the fluctuation, the time value of your money. So what can you do to be able to save the same amount or even more or even less? Let's come back after we talk about cost of wedding. So for you to understand better cost of wedding, let's use a scenario. A family of yours pass away and he leaves for you a sum of money. Let's say it's $100,000. They tell you that you have two options, but you can only pick one. The first option is today to go to the bank and take the lump sum, to take the entire 100K. That's the first option. The second option is to leave the money where it's right now in the bank, come back in 2 years, let's say 20, let's say in 1 year, 2024, come back next year to take the money, and the bank not only will give you $100,000, but it will also add a 3% interest, which means the bank might be able to give you 103 next year. What will you do? What decision will you make? Which option will you choose? Investors, before they make any decision financial, before they invest money in the project, they do a cost analysis. They do what is called cost of wedding, where they ask that question. What can today I can do with $100,000 that I will not be able to do next year with that same amount of money? But the main question they ask, what will be the inflation rate next year? They will go and they will say next year the inflation will be 5%. That's what they call cost of wedding. This is the opportunity to be able to do today with what you have versus doing next year with the same amount that you have. As you can see, 103 is bigger, way bigger than 100. But what will be the inflation rate will you be able to do the same thing today with 100K that you might be able to do next year with $103,000? That's cost of wedding. And now let's do some numbers to make sure any decision that we'll be making is good for you. Just so you know, there is no bad decision. Whatever you decide to do, whichever way you go, it will be on you to know what you will be losing or what you will be gaining. But for you to know so, cost of credit is the best analysis that will be able to make you understand what exactly TMV is. Let's say that you decided to go with option one, which means today you go to the bank and you cash out. You take your money. Whatever you can do today, you do it. You don't have to worry about inflation because it's new earning. So you go to Walmart, you go to Amazon, you go to Shein, you go to wherever, to Temu, you spend that money. Or you invest that money wherever you want, wherever you feel like can get you some profits. Now, let's say that you want to do option number two. Number two, you leave the money in your bank. The bank will tell you, keep the money with me, and I will give you an interest of 3%. 2024, you come back to the bank at the same year, the same time frame. The bank gives you $100 plus 3,000, 3%. Yeah, about that. So it will give you $3,000, which will equal to 103,000. That's how much money you will be receiving from the bank. Apparently, it's a good deal. But let me show you something now. Remember, we said that investors will do an analysis called cost of wedding. And they realized, they found out that from this year to next year, there will be inflation. The rate is 5%. What they will do, they will take the 100K, multiply by 5 and over 100, which will be about like 52, 50. Anyway, so don't worry about those numbers, but it's about like a 52, 50. They will take the 100K and plus 52, 50, and the total may be about 105 to 50. So this is what they will be end up having to have if the $100 will only work that, which means for you to be able to keep the same lifestyle that you have today, and let's suppose that in last you didn't say, you know what, I'm gonna keep the money I'm interested with, which means that next year you will have to come up for you to keep the same lifestyle, to spend money wherever you are spending today. You will have to bring 50 to 50, which means that your money is worth 100,000 minus 52, 50, that was only 4,500, if I'm not mistaken. Less than 95,000. That's what $100 today is, that amount, but next year, with the interest rate, $100 will be only $95,000. So, and if the bank really wants to give you 103,000, that means you will have to subtract that from 105 to 250, meaning that for you to be able to have a lifestyle with the money, you will have to be able to come up with 2150. Just don't worry about those numbers. That's exactly cost of wedding is. Cost of wedding will tell the investors that if I were to pick the second option, I will have to be able to come up with 2150 to make sure that my money, my $100, is worth the same will worth something next year or will be worth about, I will have to add 105 to 50 next year. If not, it will be a bad decision. If you pick number 2 based on investment, meaning if I were to make a decision, I will pick number 1. I will not keep the money at the bank because the bank will take the money, lend that money to people, make interest on money, and they will give me only $300 out of my money. Maybe 300, I don't know, 300 or 2,000, but don't worry about the numbers, just worry about the concept. So time value of money, not only it reduces your purchasing power, your ability to purchase, but also it reduces the value your money will have in a year, in 2 years, 5 years down the road. So if you were an investor, the first option for you will be the better will be the option number 1 because with 100K today you can do so much. But the question I'm already seeing in the chat room, what can we do to make sure we have a good life after we retire? Let's talk about it. Let me tell you what I'm suggesting, not gospel, not golden. This is what I will suggest anyone. Because what I do, I cannot, inflation, you cannot not have it. And you are saving less and less every day. You are saving less and less because the prices of basic goods are getting higher and higher every day. You are saving, you getting the same paycheck, but you are spending less, which means you are saving less. Let me show you. Let me give you an example how you, as investors or as a simple customer, will be able to beat inflation or to be ready for inflation. How to beat inflation? Inflation is when the prices of goods increase. For you to beat it, you have to know something called inflation rate. Let's say that is 5%. Also, you will know how much you are saving per year. Let's say that every year you save $2,500. That's what you save every year when you're saving. Today, we are in 2023. You are able to save, you will be saving $2,500. But next year, when you're $100, you can still save that, but there will be 5% inflation. What can you do? Because whatever you're saving today for next year, the value will change, the value will be less. So what I do, what I suggest people is to still save 2,500, take into account the inflation, which is 5%, which will give you 120, 125, which means every year you're gonna add 125 to your actual saving. And if the year after inflation goes to 7%, you will multiply 2,500 by 7%. That way, when you retire, your money will be able to help you beat inflation. So when you go to Walmart, even though the prices will increase, but you'll be able to purchase and you don't have to worry about life. It's not a good idea, but that's the best way to do it. But what also I'm suggesting you, this one is risky. That this is investment. Invest your money. You can earn anywhere. It could be on a life insurance, mostly whole life insurance. You can invest in the stock market, or you can do peer-to-peer lending. There are thousands of ways you can beat inflation. One of them, if you don't want to invest, is to keep adding money to your savings, taking into account the inflation rate, or also you can invest in anything that you think can bring you profits. Except when you invest, you buy risk. You invest, that means you will earn some profits, but at least because the profits that you will be earning will be based on inflation. When it's time for you to retire or when you take your money out, you cash out, you will be able to have the same lifestyle you had 10 years ago today because you plan like a pro for your retirement. You make money, you save money, and this is, my friends, what we call time value of money. People like us will have a low or a declining, a diminishing purchasing power. But if you are an investor, always do that analysis called cost of waiting. Yes, Marcelo, there is a way you can track the rate of inflation and to see how much money you will need next year and 2 years to be able to keep up the same lifestyle that you have today. I don't have my tablet with me or my laptop. I'm gonna show you. So go to the internet. You're gonna type 3 $2013.com. Let me know when you are there. So what you will see, this one will show you what the country will look like or look like 20 years ago. You will see the amount of money that you want to lose. Let's say you want to say $100. That's the default amount that they have, if I'm mistaken. They have also a year. Let's say they will put 2022. They will have also 2023. Also, and then you can just start on search. It will tell you what the inflation rate is between 2022 and 2023. It will tell you how much money, if you go down with the CPI, all those things, how much money, how much your $100 was worth last year compared to the, or better yet, how much money you will need this year to be able to keep the same lifestyle. You can even go further. You can change the number to 1,000. You can change the year to 2023, which we are right now, and you say, okay, today I have 1K in my pocket, or on my card, or on my checking account. How much 1K will be worth in 2 years? So you can adjust. You're gonna put the year 2025. When you click on search or go, it will ask you to input an inflation rate. It will give you 3% automatic, but you can know. So let's say you put 5%, it will give you an example, a result. Go down. It will explain to you everything, CPI, or what it was 2 years ago, and it tells you the actual inflation rate for next year, even if you put 2 or 3. So this one, you can use your rate, your interest rate, if you're gonna put that money in a bank. You say, okay, I'm gonna open a new checking or a CD with $1,000. I will take the money in 2 years. When my daughter turns 17, the bank will give me a 5% or interest rate. It will tell you how much money you will be getting. And down the road, down the screen, it will tell you how much the inflation rate will be in 2025. It will tell you how much money you will have in 2024, 2025, and the year you can put all the way to 2050. Those are estimated numbers, but it can give you a picture of what you should do if you have to add more money every year to what you're saving, or if you want to invest, or if you just don't care, whatever happens, happens. Again, the website is n2013dollars.com. It just track the value of your dollar. Thank you. All right. So now, let's conclude with the class so we can do a check on learning to make sure that we grab the key concept of cost of waiting and purchasing power. In summary, I discussed the time value of money concept. The time value of money concept states that money is worth more today than in the future due to inflation. I then ask whether it is better to take $100 today or open a saving account with it for a year with a 3% interest rate. Taking the money now is the better option due to avoiding of cost of waiting and the fact that money loses value over time due to inflation. To beat inflation, you should increase your deposit yearly by the current inflation rate. Professor Rousseau, class concession on Apple Podcast. Thank you. See you next week.